The eco-warriors in Britain are organising our Noah's Ark campaign, which is a massive worldwide publicity campaign to stop global warming and save the human race from being driven to extinction this century as a result of the burning of fossil fuels. We are the friends of the Pacific warriors who are fighting to save their island nations in the South Pacific from vanishing beneath the rising sea levels as global warming floods their world. The eco-warriors' modern-day version of Noah's Ark will be the travelling school for eco-warriors, publishing and broadcasting the truth about the danger of global warming, which threatens to wipe out all life on Earth, including the human race. The burning of fossil fuels is causing climate change, and the Earth's temperatures are increasing, melting the polar ice caps and raising the sea levels, threatening worldwide flooding, which will kill billions of people, according to United Nations scientists. The melting methane hydrate gas in the polar regions threatens an ecological cataclysm that will make the Earth completely uninhabitable within 20 years, and humanity is facing extinction. The eco-warriors are attempting to change the future and ensure the survival of future generations by offering our solutions to the global environmental crisis. The only possible answer to stop global warming will be for the whole world to stop the burning of fossil fuels and to close down the fossil fuel industries, which are causing global warming and climate change. To help stop the imminent genocide of humanity that is being caused by the capitalist Bilderberg group of banks, corporations and governments that are destroying the planet and wiping out all life on Earth, the eco-warriors in Britain are offering the people of the world our reality TV show for the children, which is entitled Can You Save the Human Race?
Do you know what? This is where it's all happening, here, and it's so secluded.
Yeah, it's right
It's
round.
all on there.
Right, should we go in? What? You got your finger in front of it.
Well, I want the cakes.
Have you enjoyed your evening?
It was very nice, thank you.
Glad you enjoyed it.
And very entertaining to watch it being made as well.
Will you be coming back again?
We don't really live in this area,
Okay.
so we were just, it was a day trip. Did a lot of
passing through, yeah.
walking around the canal, and
lovely.
then we found this buffet. So, but thank you very much. Bye bye. Go down and get the doors to do it.
That's what I'm about to do. About to do that.
These are lovely. Speakers put on.
Loads of points. It now. So we go along partly with what the Archbishop of Canterbury is saying, in that banks aren't merely too big to fail, but too big to manage effectively, and that makes us liable to the next financial crisis, which even some of the writers in the Financial Times are saying is going to be inevitable if we don't reform things. Also, the banks are extremely unstable because of their ratio of assets to so-called equity. That's the dodgy loans which they've got from various people. So that could bring another crisis which we're going to be asked to bail out. Beyond that, there's the actual activity of the banks in sort of fragilising the economy by
besides the regulatory framework and the industrial framework required. But it's clear that we're just really propping up the same Frankenstein organisations that were there before 2008.
I think that is actually drawing people together on quite a kind of systematic, system change platform. And I think this is an opportunity not to fall into the very plausible sort of divide and rule of the left situation, where because we have, we think it's not perfect, we sort of cut off from it completely. It seems to be the solution, given that the People's Picnic is partly in response to the imperfections of the People's Assembly. If we say that we support both the People's Assembly and the People's Picnic, that might be good. It might be better if we say, well, we have reservations about the fact you have to pay for the People's Assembly. Nonetheless, we wish it well, or something, some wording that would include that maybe. But I just think it'd be a shame, given that this is quite a broad movement that has some chance of really picking up traction, for us to just be a separate track that isn't trying to do the work of linking up.
While I take points and questions, and you somewhere here, if you could really write exactly the phrase that you would like to build. Okay, so Becky, can you time 5 minutes from now? Okay, so can I see how many people want to say something? Okay, remember your numbers. Okay, Julie, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1, 6. And we have 5 minutes, so be really short, so we have enough time to.
I can see the reservations here, like paying. But I also like the idea of showing some kind of solidarity to the points that George made. I think they're not quite radical enough. George, you said that they were embracing systemic change. I don't really think they are. I think they are mobilising against austerity, which maybe you could argue is a first step. So if we are going to do qualified support, which I quite like, I think we should call for, we need to be asking for systemic change as well, and talking about environmental, social and democratic justice.
Okay, you have more or less 30 seconds each if we want to do things in 5 minutes. Do something. So, sorry, Andrea.
I don't know, I have some concerns about this group, especially about the process. I think Occupy was a great thing that happened and changed everything in question of process. So this group will try to have the same message, but with processes that are not the same. So if we support these kind of things, my opinion is that they try to transform what the rest of Occupy in them structure, what is a kind of pity. And I think the picnic can be a good idea, but if it is something completely different, and they are speaking a new party of left, what in my experience in Portugal is that they made that 11 years ago there, and it was good in the beginning, but quickly we see that it was the same as the others. So small parties or other people regret.
Okay, we did decide 5 minutes, so really everyone stick to 30 minutes to say what they have to say, but otherwise everyone has to John was next.
Yeah,
I have some doubts, but I think we should give this People's Assembly the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
I was quite critical. I think what the choice of words that George is using is correct. I think there are reservations about making people pay for event. However, I think I do support it. I was at one of the rallies, meetings they had in North London. It's very big, and the thing about austerity is it's really hurting people. NHS is going to be cut. People may be made homeless, and I think we need to be with these people and help shape the debate. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong, but then at least we're there and we can grow our network.
30 minutes is really short, I know.
Seconds.
I'm going to be very direct and straight to the point, just for a change. I'm afraid I do not support. I think People's Assembly have got a good idea. I'd support the People's Picnic more, but I cannot support a People's Assembly against austerity, where the poorest among us can't even afford even the £4 to get in, and all the poor relatives have to eat outside. I'm sorry, but that is not people are dying from austerity. They can't afford to eat, they can't get heating, they can't travel. No, sorry. That's just how it is.
Okay, I agree. First of all, when it happened, I was like wicked, but actually it's a much of a muchness. They're giving us the same system, they're talking the same, but the fact that they've excluded loads of people straight away just shows us that they're actually not on our side, so I don't agree with them at all. And picnic, party, tell them that we're not happy, but straight away to have a meeting and exclude so many people, forget it.
And I was trying to come down
from there.
I was just going to say, is there no way that it can be a donations rather than people paying? Is there any way of being able to say we would only support if they would optional donations if you can afford it? George, was it George? Is there any way of being able to ask them if there's any of changing it to donations or something like that, optional donations, so that people who can't afford can still be invited? Because otherwise, I wouldn't support it either.
If we put the People's Picnic before the People's Assembly in the list,
put the poor people outside. Okay.
Come on,
George, please, George.
Most people try to
Tammy, please. Tammy and George, if you want to go and have a conversation over there, you're welcome.
In the naughty corner,
as usual.
But Obi is waiting for
It's true, you're dead right.
We decided that instead of trying to keep what the People's Assembly in their heads, run with it, whatever, we'll have the picnic outside. So yes, at the same time, I would actually prefer to be outside. I'm hoping there's actually going to be less weather. But yeah, please bring food, refreshments will be the fun. And Occupy is actually part of it, so let's actually get some there.
Okay, George, did you write down the amendment?
What we're talking about is adding to the list. What Julie has added, I just put the People's Picnic, the People's Assembly in that order to reflect the fact that we maybe have more affinity with the People's Picnic. What Julie has added is we welcome a coalition of resistance against austerity. You read it. I can't read your writing. Sorry.
So I think we need to say something anyway about if we are going to try to consensus. I think we need to add something about the price that we call for free entry. Okay.
Can I just one sentence very quickly?
No pressure.
One sentence very quickly.
George, please, can you just sit down a second? Please, can you just sit down?
I agree with that.
Can you just sit down? Because Andrea, okay, so this topic is a contentious topic. Okay, so can we please all sort of calm down, not speak over each other, relax a minute. Okay, now we do have other things on the agenda that are very important as well to discuss, and these were proposed in the last 3 or 4 days, so please keep that in mind also. So I'm going to ask the Assembly. would you like to continue this conversation about the People's Assembly here? Or should we plan something in the next days in which we go in depth into this topic? So first of all, I'm just going to ask, would you like us to continue this conversation about the People's Assembly? Okay, I'm sorry, George.
Just read the sentence. I don't want to continue it. I want to see if
George,
we
I
can
think the Assembly has clearly said that they would prefer not to go on. If you feel very strongly about this, and if anyone here feels very strongly about this, you can do what I did. I just said, let's have a general assembly about other things.
All I wanted to say is this one sentence.
Organize
that
it.
the left...
Just a second, George. Just a second. No, wait a second. Okay, can I ask the Assembly, would you like to hear what George has to add?
Bravo! Bravo!
Quickly!
Push it!
What do you mean? Some people wave their hands and some people did that.
Yeah, but you're welcome to have a conversation. George, please. You're welcome to have a conversation.
I'm just saying one sentence.
We've gone far over our time.
And I could have finished my sentence 3 minutes ago. So well done. Happy process.
The assembly process was we wanted.
Let's carry on talking about not saying one sentence.
Okay, George.
For 5 minutes, it's ridiculous.
I'm going to explain what's going to happen now. What we're going to do
Bad woman's
is
rules.
Please.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody decided.
Come on, it's bullshit.
Please. Quiet. Thank you. What we're going to do now is we're going to break out into groups to talk about different topics. So there'll be the opportunity for whoever wants to keep on talking about the People's Assembly to have a breakout group on that. Okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So, we have very important things to do. Do people need to sort of like stretch or jump or do something before we go on?
No, conga, that's it.
Yeah? Just like shake around or do something with your body. Have the person beside you. Okay. Okay. Yes. So, I'm going to introduce them first. Actually, Mark, you're right.
Fashionably on time.
My one sentence was that the left splits for very understandable reasons. It's always principle.
Because the left excluded among us. Don't exclude
Tammy and George, please.
You go in your group, yeah? I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so Mark, you were right. Exactly at the right moment.
What's up? What do you want me to say?
Okay, so please, this is a very, very important topic that we need to talk about. Okay, so we have recently been invited by Squash to a meeting about possibilities of changing in law regarding squatting. So, Mark, would you be happy to talk a little bit about this? Like 2 minutes?
Am I proposing something?
So just say what is the issue and about the garden and what's happening.
Okay, the Squash campaign have already done an amazing job in slowing down the criminalisation of squatting up until this point, with lots of sort of campaigning, counter-arguments, research, keeping the issue on the table. But they've learnt, and there's been implication in the Evening Standard, that the push to extend Bill 144, which was the criminalisation of residential squatting, will be attempted to be extended to commercial squats. That would basically, had this happened a couple of years ago, I'm sure you can imagine the Bank of Ideas wouldn't have happened, the School of Ideas wouldn't have happened, the library wouldn't have happened. It could jeopardise student occupations. It could, basically the whole concept of occupying buildings for political purposes would be seriously jeopardised. We could see a lot of people arrested and all of that. So what Squash are doing is they're trying to amass a sort of coalition of groups that will come together to defend the right to protest. That's the angle they're using, because they consider the angle of people's right to squat buildings politically very weak. And the reason for that is that
I'm sure you can imagine the establishment considers the idea of conceding to squatters just unthinkable. It's not permitted, you know. So you'd have to have a mass movement that can force that to happen. We don't have one. So the right to protest is the angle by which it's going to be fought for. There's currently a letter being drafted that's going to be sent to The Guardian, The Independent, various sympathetic mainstream medias, that's going to be signed by Right to Protest, National Campaign Against Fees and Cuts, UK Uncut, and lots of our allies basically, and they want us to endorse it as well. That's going to be followed by, I think, a massive public meeting with lots more groups to sort of build momentum. And really they're calling, I think, on people like us, or they haven't said it directly, they're calling on people like us to get involved in direct actions, to accompany the media campaign and to accompany the more institutional ways of trying to block this bill. So that's really what I know.
So one of the breakout groups is going to be about this. What could Occupy do to support this campaign? Okay. So what we would like to see from the Assembly is if we can support this Guardian article that will come out. Can I see if there are any clarifying questions regarding this? It's a letter. Sorry, it's a letter that will be signed by various groups, and the focus will be on the right to protest. Are there any clarifying questions?
Union unanimously endorsed. Yeah, we are a movement of unanimity very often. For instance, this one.
Well,
it's our name. It's our name, okay? Anybody who is an occupier is automatically, okay? It's our name.
Please, can you, if you have something to say, can you please raise your hand? Okay? So, we have an objection from Peter. Can you say it again so everyone can hear it?
Perhaps just as Steve clarified, if it's entirely from squash, then I'm totally happy to endorse it. Just normally, it's we like to see most people like to see something for them.
All of us to maintain this a safe space.
Yeah, okay? All of us.
Okay, so the other two topics that we haven't brought up yet is that there's been an offer for us to participate in a camp this summer. From the 17th to the 20th of August, there'll be a camp that is being organised mainly by No Dash for Gas and other environmental activists and No Cuts activists. Now, the offer has been for Occupy to actually have its own sort of village there. So first of all, I want to get a temperature check. Michael thinks this is a good idea, and if we want to take part in it. So what would be great is if a few people get into a breakout group and start brainstorming on what we should be doing for this and so on. We won't have a general conversation here. The other thing that I want to get a temperature check is, considering the fact that this is going to be in late August, do we feel that it would be good to have a London-based gathering between now and mid-August?
First. This might be a bit irrelevant. Heathrow Grove looks like it's coming to an end. Yeah. So I'm going out there on Sunday to do legal observer training because they've got a funny feeling they're going to be evicted this summer. I'm going to set up a little group for a bit of solidarity.
Heathrow. You're going to be evicted.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. We haven't been told times yet, but it's looking like it's running out of time. And I've been
really, really shortly, they've gone down to their last appeal.
Yeah, on their last
appeal. Been trying to kick them out from the beginning, and it's from the main piece of land. Yeah. This is the owner that's trying to evict them. So they've had appeal after appeal, and they're waiting to get the date of their last appeal. So when that happens.
Yeah, so I'm going down there to do legal observer training on Sunday, so they've got people prepared for the eviction. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a solidarity eviction group, and hopefully if there's people near Heathrow or people, as soon as we get the notice of when the eviction is, if we can mobilise as many people as we can, because it's such a cool community. They've been there so long and it works really, really well. So I really think that we need to show them some support.
So just really quickly, they've been around for 3 years. They were there basically to block the third runway from being built at Heathrow. The third runway is not going to be built as far as we know. They're off grid, they've got their own solar panels, they've got their own gardening, they've built greenhouses. Even if you can't get down there on Sunday, make sure you get out in the next couple of months. It's Grow Heathrow or Transition Heathrow
the internet. It's a fantastic community. Just it's an example of what you can do in the face of you know, of your enemy, basically, right in the middle of where they want to build another runway.
Hi chaps, guys. I'm reporting back from Occupy Faith, which is the Alan Kent, Stephen Friends, which is the multi-faith belief working group of Occupy. Our view is that the faith communities need to take responsibility for the global economic situation and also to be self-critical about the way that they've polluted and the hypocrisy within the faith community. So it's both getting faith to challenge, but also being self-critical. What we are planning to do in the month of September is a faith-based, but also a multi-faith belief and none music protest festival in Hackney, Faith in Hackney, which aims to use our network of protest musicians, poets, and we really need occupiers like you, people, to be contributing with your own poetry, your own musical skills, to use the arts to send out a protest message in Hackney. There are a lot of angry people in Hackney from all the different roots, musical and ethnic traditions. It's kind of like the cesspit on which the city sort of dumps, and the focus and one of the key themes that we'd like to discuss at a future GA would be whether the Occupy would agree to the idea of the basic theme of that protest arts music festival being a massive corporate tax evasion. But that's something we'd really love Occupy as a whole to be involved in. So thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for your support.
Thank you. I mentioned before, there's a hunger summit that's taking place on the 8th of June, and more on what? Organising an action which looks interesting. It's created a pop-up community garden in central London. 10 AM. If you're interested, go onto the website. They're still trying to work out where the hunger summit is, but it looks like pretty good.
Just very briefly, Occupy London organising meeting was had on at the end of May, and we initially made a date to re-meet on the 20th of June, but we've, just because of miscommunication, that's kind of been, we want to change it to the 18th of June, just for this time. If anybody's got any problems with the 18th of June, can they let me know, and they want to come to the meeting. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, last one. Sorry, not sure. Anyone heard about the hunger strike by George Roll?
Yeah.
Okay, guy from Bromley, the hunger strike. Department of Pensions have actually contacted him saying that they'll give him back his benefits, but he's saying now that he doesn't want to. He wants it all for everybody. So we're sort of monitoring. It's on his 10th day now. So we just want to make sure that he's okay and hopefully get him into a live stream, the whole thing. So because we want to get him as much press as possible. That's it.
Okay, I can see that the assembly is sort of disgregating, so I sort of don't think this thing of the breakout groups is going to work.
I think everyone's
What I suggest is to do it informally. So if some people want to keep on talking about the People's Assembly, talk about it. If you want to talk about the anti-squatting laws, talk with me or
in the pub.
You know. If you're interested in trying to organise a gathering for London, come to me. And a gathering for London sometime. And yes. So online we've moved from group spaces to Rise Up at last.
Hooray! Welcome to
So this is the Occupy London discussion list. So if you're not on it and you would like to be added, let us know. We can add you. And yeah, so get ready for the intense month ahead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for facilitating, big.
You've got to have a Rise Up account. Okay. Let's be exclusive, yeah? Exclusive activism, yeah? Ban it.
Alright guys, 60 people who are actually watching.
Yeah, have you got sound? Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to find out, I guess. I suddenly thought I should film some of this for my own kind of personal use. I was thinking...
Mind boggles.
Well, you know, as in... I know, I said it. You sit through all these things and you suddenly think, God,
I sat through all that.
Yeah.
You're Tim.
Yeah.
I'm Clyde.
Hi, Clyde.
Charlie said you and I should talk.
Excuse me, could you wave for the camera? Go, please. Oh, go on. Please, one wave. No?
I'll give you a smile.
A thumbs up, a thumbs up.
I'll shake your hand, but I'm not going to wave.
Okay, fair enough.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Zeb Soames. Good evening. Syrian government forces and their allies Hezbollah said military sources told him the final offensive started just after dawn.
The peak operation began at 5:30, 6 a.m. by local time. And
the Syrian army said the rebels faced the stark choice, surrender or death. This named army commander in Qusair claimed it was a great victory for President Assad.
We declare the city of Qusair as a safe city now. We appeal to all the residents to return home. This operation has been planned for a while now.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's all right.
I have been following you. I hope I'm not well.
No, I'm only taking general shots, so I might move it, hang on.
I arrived at
Right,
in the circus so that was
I used to have two good sides.
See you around, guys.
See you, all the best. Mr. Fontana.
Yes, sir.
Could you introduce yourself and tell me why you're here?
Well, I'm Wayne Fontana, an old 60s How's Your Father, and I've been following the Bilderbergs now for nearly 20 years. But nothing seems to happen. Nobody's been indicted, nobody's been taken to court.
Do you know what? Stop. I'm gonna be so rude, because when that guy pulled away, it's going to be. I'm going to start this again.
Okay.
And let's be pro and let's pretend that never happened.
That never happened. Are we off again? Hello, my name's Wayne Fontana. I'm one of the old 60s acts, and I've been following the Bilderbergers now for 20 years, believe it or not. The only thing is, nothing seems to happen, but I believe now more people are waking up, and we might get a couple of indictments or imprisonments or beheadings. A couple of hangings would be nice. But they're here tomorrow. I think a few have arrived tonight at the hotel. We're just opposite the hotel now, and they're going to be drifting in. Bill Gates is due Saturday, I think Bill Gates is.
Where did you hear that from?
That was on the Alex Jones show.
Oh.
He's in town anyway. He's not down on the list, but they don't have everybody on the list. So Bill Gates is hovering in town, and they built what looks like a private road with barriers either side, and it goes straight round to the stables restaurant. And I think Bill Gates will be using that road, and he'll try to pretend that he never attended. So Bill will go into the stables, have his free cup of tea, fill his tax returns in, and then he'll probably leave within the hour, and him and his wife will be off to Africa to inject some brown people.
That sounds like
and
a
that's not a bad day, is it?
No.
Yeah.
So
that's the Bill and Linda Gates Foundation.
Yeah, we know about that.
Yeah.
And what got you into Bilderberg?
It's the strange thing is, it was just I sued. Believe it or not, I sued. What was it called? The GM.
Monsanto.
Oh, what they call GM Bank? No, sorry, GE Bank, General Electric. Now they probably have more control over the world than these lot that are coming tomorrow. And I sued them and I won. And I was 59 at the time. And since that day that I beat General Electric, I've become public enemy number one. You know, things have happened that you would not believe could happen to just one person. Before that, I was a law-abiding citizen up until being 59, sued General Electric and won. And as I say, since then, it appears I'm public enemy number one wherever I go. I'm banned from America because I wouldn't give my thumbprints, fingerprints, side of my hand prints. And I said, well, I don't want to do that. I said, because I've not done anything yet. Yes, but this is the law now. I said, it's not the law. I said, you've just made it up.
So why have you come to Watford?
Well, I fancied having a go at the Bilderbergers, and that was basically all I did. I booked into the hotel, but they threw me out this morning, and I just want to cause them a bit of aggravation because we can't seem to do it any other way. They control the media, they control everything, they control the judiciary, the police, the politicians. I mean, do you know what surprised me this morning? I woke up and looked out the window and the sky's full of chemtrails. I thought, they must be psychos, they're chemtrailing themselves. You know, they just crisscross all over the sky with all these poisons. They are psycho. I think they're going to go down with the ship because there's no way they can escape all this crap that they're throwing on us.
And if you had to give a message to the Bilderberg group, what would it be?
I'd like to know where they were all brainwashed into believing that they are the answer to the world's problems, because it seems everything they do is just satanic. They just seem like crazy people who are going to self-destruct, unless they do get into their bunkers, because they've got thousands of bunkers. You know, they're probably going to nuke us and vanish into the bunkers, but I don't know how long they can stay down there. But looking at the size of them, they could stay down there for about 20 years.
And do you find it interesting that there's so much high finance and banking?
Oh, it's just, I mean, if they came here now and somebody tried to block them from meeting, they'd just buy the hotel. Whoever, you know, well, they probably own this one anyway because they've done so much from Watford. But they just buy the hotels and kick people out. So you've got no chance really unless we can get people to wake up and say, yeah, I can see it now. But once you get all the pieces of the jigsaw and you put them together, you can see it just goes from stupid little things. My interest started because I'd ordered something 20 years ago, and they said, if you want to speak to research, press 1. But do you remember all that? Press 1, press 2. But you get through when you first initially order something. You get through and they say, yes, what do you want? I've seen an item on the Amazon and I'd like to order it. Right, it's £206, thank you very much. Have you got your card number? Blah, blah, blah. So you give them your number, bang, it's instant. In 1 second they've taken your money. But you complain about the item and it's, could you send 3 copies, 1 to head office, 1 to, and I thought, blood, this isn't right. I said to just poke in the same number that you took the money off and click the button and put the money back in. Oh no, we can't do that. Could you send 3 copies, 1 to head office, 1 up, stick 1 up your nose, and you know it's like, and I thought, what poor old lady who's ordered something is going to understand all this or have the time. And that's what got me going. I thought, this isn't right. This isn't how we should be living, with people on the phone saying press 1 for this, press 2 for that, press 4 if and basically they're not interested. And then when you do get through, you get through to India and you don't understand a word. It's the same with the computer. Have you got a complaint about your computer? And you get onto people that I can't understand them. So and that's how my interest started. I thought, I'm going to look into this.
So what would be your... I'll wait for that to go. Yeah. What would be your sort of message to the people of Watford?
Well, please, get off your bums, stop watching Coronation Street and just get interested in what's going on, because most of this is online. They're so proud of themselves. They put this in memoranda and tell you what they're going to do. They told you they were going to do 9/11. They told you they were going to do the Iraq War. And now they're planning, the French and the British have just said there's evidence that Assad has been using chemical weapons on the rebels. Well, we all know that's a load of balls. All they want, Netanyahu, he's like that. Oh, Obama, please let me bomb Iran. Please, it's time to bomb Iran. And we're all like, okay then, let him bomb Iran and start World War III. It's just amazing how gullible we are and the things we fall for.
Why do you think we fall for that?
Well, as I say, they're in control of everything. There's not a lot you can get past them. If you, as Luke was saying before, they're going to protect all those criminals that go in there, yet if we walked off that sidewalk, we'd be arrested and taken to prison. Because they told us, stay on the sidewalk, you could get knocked down. So if we just stepped off the sidewalk, we'd be arrested and taken away for the weekend. And that would be one more protester locked up for the weekend.
Now, don't you get locked up this weekend?
Well, I did 6 months. I had the privilege of going in Nottingham jail for 6 months.
When was that?
Oh, I was a bit younger then. I set fire to a bailiff's car and got 6 months. I could have got 14 years, but he lived. I thought it was compulsory to set fire to bailiffs. Is it not?
No, the law changed.
Did it? Bastards.
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
lovely.
you.
I'm sure I'll see you around.
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
Just every day.
My name's Dan Dix and I'm with Press for Truth. I came in here today from Toronto to cover the 2013 annual Bilderberg Conference.
You think it's going to be a good one?
I do think it's going to be a good one. Considering how well it went last year, the fact that hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 people came out is a sign, I think, that things are changing for Bilderberg, and we might start to see these numbers continue to grow every single year. So I think it's going to be great.
Why is it important that numbers grow?
Well, it's important that numbers grow because it's the Bilderberg's group, his entire system is set up in a pyramidal structure, and people need to understand and remember that it is we, the people, who make up the base of this whole system. So it's really a matter of enough people coming to that awareness and stepping outside of that system to begin to cause the collapse of this pyramidal structure. So, unless we get enough numbers, nothing's going to change. So we have to continue to raise awareness about this group.
Collapse into what?
Collapse into what? Well, what might rise from the ashes, the phoenix from the ashes, if you will. It's tough to say what would be a better kind of
order out of chaos.
Order out of chaos, whatever you want to refer to it as. Yeah. Well, all I know though is that these guys cannot continue to operate the way they are. So.
Well, thank you very much. And what are you doing to? What's your bit here? What are you trying to do? If you're trying to push something, push for truth or press for truth, what is it you're doing exactly?
Well, basically what I'm doing is just trying to document the event, interview people who are here, and last year we managed to get a lot of people on footage of the actual attendees of this meeting. So it's always good to document who's attending so you can have a better idea of what sorts of things they're going to be discussing. So hopefully I can get some footage like that. Hopefully I can get some good interviews, and basically just here to film all for the entire time and just document everything.
Cool. Document everything. That's a good motto.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to move my camera over here.
My name is Lugardowski of wearechange.org, and I'm here covering the 2013 Bilderberg meeting for the, 4th annual time? So yeah, it's been a while.
And what are you expecting?
There should be a large number of people. I mean, Watford is very close to London. The trains are very easily accessible, so I think there should be a bigger force of people out here than any other year. Hopefully, we'll see. Only time will tell.
And it's a beautiful day.
It is. It's very beautiful. The weather looks nice. I just checked the weather, and it's going to be 70 degrees Fahrenheit for the entire weekend. So it should be really good.
And what are you hoping? What's your best case scenario here for Bilderberg?
Best case scenario is the Bilderbergers come outside to the protest pin and actually explain what they're doing and have openness to their meetings and engage in a dialogue. That would be the ultimate thing to end all the secrecy, end all the protests, is just an engagement of the public, which hasn't ever happened and hasn't even happened to me with individual members that I talk to and I meet and I try to find out what's going on here. A lot of them run away, call security on me, or just freak out and start stuttering and babbling out of control.
So as it were, behave like adults.
Yes, behave like adults, have a conversation, have a dialogue, at least explain what you're doing.
Cool. Let's go, fingers crossed.
Yeah, Sierra?
And
I'm good.
Sierra?
No, I'd rather not.
Really?
Come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Come on,
Oh,
Sierra.
come on. Here comes the camera.
This on YouTube.
No, I don't like being in front of the camera. I really don't.
Really?
You make me do things I don't want to do.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, I'd rather. I don't
Okay.
Like it.
Why? You
I
can
just
just
don't
talk.
like it.
Just talk.
Why don't you say what you found Watford to be like?
I haven't really seen Watford, so I can't do that either.
We've seen
Really?
it Monday.
All right, I'll do this.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. My name's Sarah Adamson, and I'm with We Are Change, and we just got here a few days ago and just been seeing everything that's going on around Bilderberg.
And how many Bilderbergs have you
This
been
is my
to?
second one. I went to the one in Virginia last year, so this is my first year.
And how was Virginia?
It was really interesting. I came down every day, and it was great to see so many people out there and actually see the awakening in different kinds of groups too. I think there was a mix of people, and I think an event like this brings different kind of factions, if you will, of different movements together.
And what brings them together though? What unites them?
Just, I think it's the secrecy of Bilderberg. People are really fed up with their governments lying to them and not knowing what's going on, and I think that is a message that anyone can get behind.
And what are you hoping to get out of the whole 5 days or however long you're here?
I guess just more people waking up and understanding. I mean, we went to the town hall meeting the other day, and for me it seemed like such a strange thing to see a group of residents in Watford just openly discussing Bilderberg, which not too long ago, if you even said there was such thing as Bilderberg, it's a conspiracy. Most people would probably say it's still a conspiracy. So it's becoming a topic that is on people's minds more, even if they don't realize that it's something for concern. They still know it's there and it exists. And the more people that come out, the more that gets opened up.
Great. Cool. Thank you very much. And good luck.
Hi, my name's Charlie Skelton. I'm here in Watford for Bilderberg 2013.